Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitians. Got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah. It's Yahweh. His only begotten son name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christus, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether you can accept it or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Orlando Camp coming into another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another daily edification, Lord willing, is to be edifying. And I titled this, you women of Israel, you women of the hopeful elect, be ye comforted. Because, you know, brothers always be going in on, because we got the 2/3, then you got those one that's going to be part of that righteous, that elect. So, you know, a lot of brothers don't really go in too much on it. But you being a weaker vessel, so, you know, every now and then, not every now and then, a lot of times, brother have to, which they do it in certain videos, brothers throw it in there, but just a video that's more or less dedicated to these hopefully elect women out here, man. Hey, because you are the weaker vessel. The Lord say strengthen the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees, right? Which is all the ones that's looking for salvation, the unnumbered multitude, okay? And a lot of those are women. And you being a weaker vessel, so Lord witness be edifying. So my first precept I'm going to get, just going over some scriptures, because what a lot of women don't understand is all through these scriptures, man, is women, righteous women, holy women, as the scriptures say. So I'm going to start with this. It's Jeremiah chapter 9 and 17, and it reads, thus said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, consider ye and call for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for cunning women, that they may come. Now, when you go into that word cunning, I was looking this up. The word cunning means it's a having or showing skill in achieving one's ends by deceit or evasion. So it's a crafty, witty, artful. So all these proud women, man, which we know 2/3 ain't, but you got these righteous women. But the Lord say, consider ye and call for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for cunning women, that they may come. Right? The Lord telling everybody, hey, humble down, man. That's why I saw you women that's in Isaiah 32, when it say you women that are at ease. Let's read this. Isaiah 32 and 9. It say, rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice, you careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come, meaning the work. The work gonna fail. All jobs gonna fail, man. Tell you in Ecclesiastes 12 that the grinding shall be low. Ain't gonna be no work, man. Okay, the scripture tell you in 2 Ezra 16 and 40 that we're gonna be like pilgrims on the earth. So it say, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, and for the fruitful vine. That's gonna happen to the 2/3 women. We ain't talking about them, right? We talking about you women that's a part of the hopeful elect. This is 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 5. It reads, it say, for after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in God adored themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with the amazement. When you look at that word amazement, let's go to the blue letter real quick. Look at this word amazement. To see, we here to strengthen. You are the weaker vessel. That's why you went off her. That's why Satan was able to get to Eve, because she are the women are the weaker vessel. So this is 1 Peter 3 and 5. We're gonna read that. We're gonna read that, get that word amazement. It's a lot. Sometimes it take a little longer to pull up. It's the word amazement.
Strong's G 4423. Diasis. Diasis.
It say to be afraid or with terror. You see the lesson I did a little while ago, saying you women will be 2/3 women gonna be in terrible fear, man. Horrible fear. It's a G 4422. It say alarm. The strong definition say alarm, amazement, right? It say to be afraid or with terror. So again, 1 Peter 3 and 5, it say, even as Sarah obeying Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement, with any terror, right? Because the Lord said when you read in 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy 1 and 7, he did not give us, first and foremost, to men the spirit of fear, right? But of sound mind and love. Let's read that. So this is just exhortation to them women, man. 2 Timothy 1 and 7, for Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Okay, it say, be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord Yahweh, nor of me, his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of God. Because you know when you read in Acts 14 and 22, it say confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must do much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Shema Shah. So, hey, and the water for everybody tuning in, the water Yahweh Shema Shah, Bashim Kakadas Brakatham, the water. So, hey, we gotta exhort you too, man. Okay, you gotta be ready, because we don't know what 2021 finna bring, man. We don't know. All we know is, hey, since 2018, things has been jacked up in Babylon the Great and around the world. So it's finna get worse. This is so just going through a few of these scriptures, man, because it was righteous women all over this Bible, man, that was doing what they supposed to been doing. Let's read this. This Luke 2 and 36. It say, and there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Penuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age and had lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity, and she was a widow of about 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served God with fasting and prayers night and day. So you see, it's saying she coming in that instant gave thanks likewise unto the Lord, and spake of him to all them that look for redemption in Jerusalem. And I tell you in Titus 2, what you women should be doing, exhorting other women, man. Okay? If they don't got husbands where they can learn this truth from, hey, you exhort them, hey, watch the videos. And you know who you're supposed to be watching. You know what the truth at. This is and it says she was a prophetess, meaning she was a wife of a prophet. Prophetess don't mean to go out and preach. You already know this and been went over many times over. It have been broke down and explained. You're supposed to be humble, watching, learning. And if you're gonna talk to anybody, it's other women, man, because you obligated to do so. The 144,000 men, whomever they are, is set up to preach the gospel. That's how the unknown multitude wake up from hearing those 144,000 men. And you women obligated, once you hear this word, and you talk to your sisters or your mamas or your cousins or your aunties, and you obligated to do so. This is Philippians chapter 4 and verse 3. Just reading these scriptures showing you that these women, these righteous women, man, that did what was necessary in the background. It's Philippians 4 and 3. And I entreat thee also, true yoke fellow, help those women which labored with me in the gospel. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, man. It say, with Clement also, and with others, my fellow laborers, whose names are in the book of life. So this is Isaiah 35 and verse 3. It says, strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your power will come with vengeance, even power with their recompense. He will come and save you. Then shall the eyes of the blind, then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then the lame man leap as a then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert. This is what's going on. This is what's about to come down, man. This is terror, man. And the Lord wants you to be comforted, just like these men, the whomever they are, the 144,000 men is going to be comforted that day. You women should be comforted as well, man. Okay, even though you're the weaker vessel of the Lord, you're supposed to be getting built up too at the same time. This is Isaiah 32 and 2. It say, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as the rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Now it say, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest. When you read in Psalm, I forgot, I think it may be Psalm 35. It said the Lord shall, no, you know what it is? Psalms 27. See, we're gonna be a hiding place for the women, and Yahweh Shema Shai gonna be a pavilion for us. Let's get that. The Psalms 27 and 5. For in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion, in the secret place of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock. So Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna be the men's pavilion covered, and the men's is gonna be you women's covered, man. So we gotta strengthen you too. This is let's read this again. Psalm 27 and 5. From the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion, in the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock. So back in Isaiah 32 and 2, it reads, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Verse 3, and the eyes of them that see shall not be dim. Who's the one that's going to see? That's going to be the unknown multitude, man. Okay? Women and men, the ones that's going to wake up from hearing those 144,000 men. It say, and the eyes of them that see shall not be dim. When you read in Malachi 3, the Lord say, Malachi ain't going to be reproving no more. He said he will move him and take him from off. And he said, let's get that real quick. This is Malachi 3. No, I'm sorry. Ezekiel 3. Let's read this. Ezekiel 3 and 24. It say, then the Spirit entered into me and set me up upon my feet and spake with me and said unto me, go, shut thyself within thy house. But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. But when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, whatever appointed time it is, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, he that heareth, let him hear, and he that forbeareth, let him forbear, for they are a rebellious house. So you see, back in Isaiah 32 and 3, it said, and the eyes of them that see shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. So during this time when Jacob trouble breaking out, man, the ones, that's why the Lord is building us up, man. He's building us up. Going on this, when this time happened, those women that's supposed that's gonna humble and fall in line, they already been prepared for that, man. But the ones that's not, they're gonna be wilding and buck, man. Even these one that's called Butch, they're gonna fall in line in that day too, man. They're gonna fall in line. Some of them might get saved, some of them might be too late. But they're gonna fall in line, man. The Lord, it said again, in the eyes of them that see shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. So the Lord told Ezekiel, hey, I'm gonna close, you ain't gonna be no approval. But the ones I want you to talk to, hey, they gonna get it. The ones that's for bear, they ain't gonna get it. And it say, and the man shall be as a high place from the wind, and they covered from the tempest. What wind? This is Jeremiah 51:1, and it reads, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind. And 2/3 of Israel is rising up against the Lord, man. Right? They don't want to cleave to the Holy One of Israel. So they're the strong wind that a man shall be a covered from. It's talking about the destruction, man. Jacob's trouble, the pestilence, the famine, right? All these things, man. That's why it's in Isaiah 4:1. In that day shall 7 women take hold of one man. Isaiah 4:1 is coming off, it is laying back and right off Isaiah chapter 3. When you read Isaiah 3, starting at verse 16, all the way through 26. Is it 20? Let me see. Isaiah 3. Yeah. When you read Isaiah chapter 3, from 16 all the way to 26, it's talking about a woman, how she gonna be low, how she gonna be stripped naked and made bare. That's what the Lord he reiterated it in Isaiah 32, man. Right? When he said strip you and make you bare, that was gonna be 2/3 women. But those that fall in line, when you read Isaiah 3, starting at verse 16, all the way through 26, that's talking about how he, instead of well said hair, you're gonna be baldness, instead of a sweet smell, that shall be stink. It said the Lord shall discover thy secret parts in that day. What's he talking about? You women know what I'm talking about, your box, right? Everywhere. You women have to stay fragrance up. Otherwise, hey, it's gonna be a stink smell. So from Isaiah 3, 16 through 26, and to tell you in verse 25 that your men gonna fall. Because 2/3 of these Jake, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, Western Haitian men, they gonna get drafted, man. They ain't gonna be here. Only men gonna be left here is Israelite men, the elect, the chosen ones that the Lord have. That's it. Everybody that's gonna be in the war, and they're gonna be laid out on the ground. That's done, like I tell you in Jeremiah 25:33. So Isaiah 3, 16 through 26. Isaiah 4:1 come off that. That's why I say in that day it's gonna be 7 women to one man. And it could be 70. 7 just mean completion. It could be 70, 700, could be 7,000 women to one man. Who knows? The point is, it's elect women out there gotta get saved too. They have to get built it up, man. Cause we finna come into some real drastic, horrible times, and we don't know how it's gonna play out, man. That's why we gotta stay prayed up. We gotta stay built up in the faith. That's why I say this in let's get this, Colossians 2:6. It say, as ye have therefore received Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. This is Acts 17:12. Let's read this. It say, therefore, many of them believed, also of the honorable women, which were Greeks, and of men, not a few. It said not a few, meaning it was a many. Okay, therefore, Acts 17:12, therefore, many of them believed, also of the honorable women, which were Greeks, and of men, not a few. Hey, and we know this talking about Greek-speaking Israelites, man. Okay, these women wasn't Greeks. These was Israelites, right? Like it said in Peter's. Let's read Peter's again. 1 Peter 3:5. It say honorable women in Acts 17. For after this man in old time, the holy women also who trusted in power, adored themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. You women got a problem with these things, man. Whose daughters ye are. Now, if you supposed to be these women that's coming with, everything is on the Lord, Hey, you got a man, but a lot of women call their husband or their boyfriend, they say daddy. Daddy just is like another form of calling your man Lord, man. It say, even as Sarah obeying Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and not afraid with any amazement. So this is you got the woman in Matthew 15, right? Her daughter was sick with the demon. Israelites, okay? The same story is rewrote. It's in Mark also, Mark the 7th chapter. Israelites, right? Let's get this. This is Matthew 26 and verse 6. It reads, Now when Yahushua was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ornaments, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, To what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahushua understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. You see, this is when you read this story, it's also in Mark the 14th chapter, and it's in John the 12th chapter. This is the woman who washed Yahushua's feet with the oil in her hair, man. This is Matthew 27:55. Just pulling a few of these scriptures out. I just was going through it last night when I left the plantation. It was on my mind. I don't know, the Spirit told me to just do a lesson on it. It's Matthew 27:55. And many women were there beholding afar off, which followed Yahushua from Galilee, ministering unto him, among which were Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's children. So you see, women, man, always was there, man. The brother Abner Nasser, Apostle Hart, posted a video of Jakes in New York doing what they do best on the streets, rebelling. Hey, that's Jeremiah the 51st chapter, man. When I tell you that Jake lied the head of every street like a wild bull in a net, man. That's Jake. They're gonna continue to do that, man. They're gonna continue to do that. Matter of fact, let's read that real quick. Just a little side note. This Isaiah 51 and verse, what is that? Isaiah 51 and Salakia in verse 20. It reads, Isaiah 51:20 said, Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of fear of the Lord, the rebuke of thy power. That's how Jake is, man. Jake is on all the corners in every neighborhood, man. Like wild bulls, just bugged out. But anyway, this is Mark chapter 12 and verse 41. It reads, we supposed to lift these women up too, man. Okay, because they getting salvation too. They the weaker vessel. And you women already know, just stay in order, man. Just stay in line. This is Mark 12:41. And Yahushua set over against the treasury, and behold, how the people cast money into the treasury, and many that were rich cast in much. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a farthing. And he called unto his disciples and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow have cast more in than all they which have cast in the treasury. For all they did cast in of their abundance, but she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living. You see, these women, man. So like, so we got to lift up these women as well. We got to lift up these women as well, man. They're part of the elect too. So let's get this is Luke chapter 13. This is Luke 13 and 10. It reads, and he was teaching in one of the synagogues on the Sabbath, and behold, there was a woman which had a spirit of infirmity 18 years, and was bowed together, and could in no wise lift up herself, and was bowed together. And when Yahushua saw her, he called her to him and said unto him, Woman, thou art loose from thy infirmity. And he laid his hand on her, and immediately she was made straight and glorified God. And the ruler of the synagogue answered with indignation, because that Yahushua had healed on the Sabbath day, and said unto the people, there are 6 days in which men are to work. In them, therefore, come and be healed, and not on the Sabbath day. The Lord then answered him and said, thou hypocrite, do not each one of you on the Sabbath loose his ox or his ass from the stall, and lead him away to watering? And ought not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan had bound, lo, these 18 years be loose from this bond on the Sabbath day? The Lord healed the woman on the Sabbath day, man. You got to roll, man. But you got to, as the scripture says, as I read, you got to be them daughters of Sarah, man. Obeying, doing well that you're supposed to do. Like it tell you in Titus 2, which I'm going to read. It say, and when he had said these things, all his adversaries were ashamed, and all the people rejoiced for all the glorious things that were done by him. You see? It's Yahushua, man. Healing a woman on the Sabbath day, man. And they were ready. They was at his neck. They was at his throat like a bow tie, man. Because he did that. This is Luke 23. And I'm going to start at verse 26. It reads, as they led him away, they laid hold upon one Simon, a Cyrenian, coming out of the country, and on him they laid the cross, that he may bear it after Yahushua. And there followed him a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him. Hey, that's why I say, I read in Jeremiah 9:17, it say, call for the mourning women, man. The ones that's seeking Yahweh Shema Shah, man. It say, well, Yahushua turned unto them, said, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. And that's why I was saying, man, we got to strengthen ye women too, man. Hey, because it's going to be, hey, the scriptures say it's going to be a time like never before, man. All we know is it's famine, pestilence, and race riots, and concentration camps. And all these things going to happen, man. We don't know how it's going to be and what it's going to look like. We just know it's coming. And the Lord says it's going to be a time like never before, man. We don't know, but he's preparing us for it, man. Again, let's read this again. Luke 23:27. And there followed him a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him. Because, you know, when Yahushua was told the cross, right? And they was bewailing and lamenting him. But Yahushua turned unto them while he told the cross and said, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For behold, the days are coming in the which they shall say, blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bear, and the paps which never gave suck. 70 AD happened. The Lord speaking about 70 AD, right? You're reading Luke 21. Luke 21, starting at verse 20, down to 24. 70 AD happened, right? A lot of Jakes, we had to flee to Africa and all across the world. We scattered all over. A lot of Jakes got caught up. They couldn't go nowhere, man. When you're reading with the second Kings, when they was eating birds' dung, man, and they was eating leather, and they was eating their kids, man, right? So the Lord say, but Yahushua turned and said to them, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. Because when Jacob trouble kick off, man, it's gonna be horrible out here, man. That's the only word I can describe it, man. Horrible. That's how it's gonna be, man. Or horrific, as they say. It's gonna be terrible, man. So it's time we gotta lift up now. That's why the Lord said He will raise up those men in the last days, and these men, whomever they are, gotta raise up the unknown multitude, man. This is back in Luke. Let me get this. Luke 23. And 48. It say Luke 23 and 48. And all the people that came together to that sight, beholding the things which were done, smote their breasts and returned. And all his acquaintance and the women that followed him from Galilee stood afar off, beholding these things. So you see, hey, and you got the daughters of Sarah that's following Yahweh Shema Shah right now, man. The real truth, man. Not that plantation Christianity doctrine that these camps are still pushing, man. Using the name Yahweh and God and Jehovah and Yahshua and Yeshua and Jesus and Jesus Christos. This is Acts 1 and 14. It reads, these all continued with one accord in prayer and supplication with the women and with Mary, the mother of Yahushua, and with his brethren. So, hey, it said these all continue with one accord in prayer and supplication with the women. So that's how you women need to be right now, man. On one accord. What these other camps teaching is madness, man. And they destroying it. You the weaker vessel, man. And they destroying our women like they destroying our women with that madness, man. But you know what? The Lord got the truth here, man. As Hebrews 6 and 9 say, things that accompany salvation, man. Okay? 100% truth, man. Things that accompany salvation. This is Titus 2 and 3. It reads, the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of power be not blasphemed. Right? This is let's get this. This is 1 Timothy 5. And I'm gonna start at 1. It reads, rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, the elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity. Honor widows that are widows indeed. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home and to requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before God. So we're talking about the children being in order as the women, as the fathers is, man. Okay, or as the brothers or the uncles. They're supposed to be in order the same way, man. It say one accord, right? Verse 5 say, now she that is a widow indeed and desolate, trusteth in God, and continue in supplication and prayers night and day. That's what say Anna did, night and day. The scripture I just read in Titus, night and day, man. Right? Verse 6 say, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Yeah, you want to go outside of this? The Lord gonna destroy you, man. But we ain't talking to the 2/3. We talking to these hopefully let women that's doing what it take. Hopefully, Lord willing, to get salvation. We hopefully doing what it take to get salvation as the men. Verse 7 say, and these things give in charge that they may be blameless, but if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. So the men's supposed to be showing you the order, man. Right? These guys are not showing you the proper order, man. It say, verse 9, let not that widow be taken into the number under threescore years old, having been the wife of one man, well reported of a good works, for good works, if she had brought up children, if she had lodged strangers, if she had washed the saints' feet, if she had relieved the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work. From who? Men. The men that the Lord put in order, man. But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against a Mashiach, they will marry, having damnation because they have cast off their first faith, as we did. Cast off our first faith, like I tell you in Revelation 2, verse 4 and 5. And wherewith they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers, also busy by the speaking things which they ought not. And a perfect example of that is Walona from Good Times, man. The Lord took her out of here doing this year. Yeah. It's our therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give no occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully, for some are already turned aside after Satan, man. And we already know that. Matter of fact, let's read it. 1 Timothy 2 and 14 reads, it say, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Right? This Ecclesiastes 25 and 24. Let's read this. It reads, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Right? Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Back in 1 Timothy 2 and 14, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety, man. If this is Acts chapter 8 and verse 12. So even though through the woman came the beginning of sin, you could be saved if you fall back in line, man. Oh, I was gonna read this. This is 1 Ezra chapter 4 and verse 26. It reads, yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. It should not be so, man. It should not be so. This is 1 Corinthians 11. Let's read this. But I will have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of a Mashiach is Yahweh. It say, verse 8, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. You see, for this caused out the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. Meaning, it say, for this caused out the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. It say, nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. So, but the head is who? The man. But that's why Paul said, that's why Paul, he's speaking it out of his own, from himself, saying that it would be better if a man did not deal with a woman, because it come with a lot of work, man. It come with a lot of work. And the right order of a woman is 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And that's in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church. So let's get back in this. Acts 8 and 12. Again, it say, but when they believed Philip, preaching the things concerning the kingdom of God and the name of Yahweh Mashiach, they were baptized, both men and women. You see, both men and women. This is Acts 16. I'm going to start at verse 13. It reads, and on the Sabbath, we went out of the city by a riverside where prayer was wont to be made, and we sat down and spake unto the women which resorted thither. And a certain woman named Lydia, a seller of purple of the city of Thyatira, which worshiped God, heard us, whose heart the Lord opened. Then she attended unto the things which were spoken of Paul. And when she was baptized in her household, she besought us, saying, if ye have judged me to be faithful to the Lord, come into my house and abide there. And she constrained us. That's why we're in the 1 Timothy 5, man. The Lord say, if you have washed the feet of the saints, if you have did these things, man, this is a part of being, that's part of being a daughter of Sarah, man. It say, verse 16, and it came to pass, as we went to prayer, a certain damsel possessed with a spirit of divination met us, which brought her masters much gain by soothsaying. Then it said the same followed Paul and us and cried, saying, these men are the servants of the Most High Power, which show unto us the way of salvation. So to show you that this lady had a demon on her, she was Jake too, man. It say, and this did she many days, but Paul being grieved, turned and said to the spirit, I command thee in the name of Yahweh Mashiach to come out of her. And he came out of her the same, and he came out the same hour. So that show you that was a Jake, man. That female. This is Acts 17 and 4. It says some of them believed and consorted with Paul and Silas, and of the devout Greeks a great multitude, and of the chief women not a few. You see? This is verse 34, Acts 17:34. Howbeit certain men clave unto him, and believed, among the which was Dionysius, the Areopagite, and a woman named Damaris, and others with them. Just scripture showing you, man, that women was the women, man. This is 2 John. Just a few scriptures going through this, man. 2 John 1 and 13. It say, the children of the elect sisters greet thee. You see, the children of thy elect sister greet thee. This is John 11 and 5. Now Yahushua loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So, hey man, don't be caught up with the madness of what these other camps telling you, man. Be followers of the ones that you know your spirit is going to lead you. Brother Abner put up 1 Ezra 4 and 37. Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. Right. Right. Hey, so the Lord put the spirit on you, you'll know. This is let's get this. Ecclesiastes 7, I think. Let's read this. Because you know it say a woman came to beginning of sin, and through her we all die. But there always will be. Oh, let's read this. Let me read this before I forget. Ecclesiastes 7 and 26. This is what Solomon said. And Solomon had 700 wives from out of the 12 tribes of Israel, and he had 300 women that was concubines. He had 1,000 women in all. 700 women from out of the 12 tribes of Israel, which was wives, 300 concubines. Ecclesiastes 7:26. And I find more bitter than death the woman, whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Number traps. Solomon saying these women are all traps. All of them. What it was seen. All of them. Whoso pleases God shall escape from her. Right? If you trying, that's why Paul said he would that a man not deal with a woman, man. Okay? He said, but hey, if you burn, hey, marry, man. Don't sit around and be messing with these harlots and they messing with a bunch of dudes and you just don't know you can catch anything. You don't know. Most of these chicks talking about they don't got no dude and they got a dude. Now this man ready to kill you and you don't know nothing about it. So, hey, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets and her hands is bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh Bashim shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. That's why I tell you in Ecclesiastes, look not at the woman's beauty, man. Right? It said, behold, this I have found, saith the preacher. Count one by one to find out that count. So we know Solomon was the wisest king on the planet, man. Okay? Verse 28 say, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found. He say, one man among 1,000. But a woman among all those have I not found. Lo, this only have I found, that God hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions, man. So you see, let's get this. Revelation chapter 7 and verse 9. Let's read 4. And I heard, Revelation 7:4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, right? 12,000 each tribe, which is all men. Verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, out of all nations and kindreds and peoples and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. So this is an unknown multitude of men, women, and children. This is so it's righteous women out there, man. They here. They here right now on the planet, man. They here. Getting in order. This is our Proverbs 31:1. The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. This is what his mother taught him. What my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. You see? Hey, but let's just keep reading. We're gonna read this. This is verse 9. No, verse 10. Oh no, let's read 9. Verse 8, Salakia. Proverbs 31:8. Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Because when you read let's get this. Since I read that 2 Timothy 3:6. This why we supposed to be letting you know what's going on, strengthening the weak hand and confirming a few needs, because you being a weaker vessel. 2 Timothy 3:6. For of this sort are there which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with divers lusts, right? Keeping up with the Joneses, cares of the world, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. So that's why we here to guide you right. Back in Proverbs 31. Listen to this. Proverbs 31:8. Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Right? Because there's a scripture that tell you about pulling you out the fire, man. Right? Verse 9. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? We can't. Right? We can't. You very seldom gonna run across a virgin, man. And these women are not teaching their daughters how to be in order. Now you got those ones out there, those the daughters of Sarah, they doing what they're supposed to do. Because we're in a lot of time now. So the Lord put the spirit on them. They at home watching videos, being humble, just shalom, Yahweh Shema, Shabbat, thumb, all that. and they chilling. They just listening. I'm sure they highlight their Bibles, they reading, whatever, right? Because we know what the comforter is now. It say, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. This is becoming back. This is coming back to that daughter of Sarah, man. Okay. This is let me read verse 26. This whole chapter is good. Proverbs 31. When you start after we get verse 10, it say this Proverbs 31:26. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest, but thou excellest. It say many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. It's a favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. That's why it says Ecclesiastes, look down upon a woman's beauty. But a woman that feareth the Lord Yahweh, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. So you women know what you got to do, man. You know how you're supposed to be in order. Let's go to this. Hey, when you read let's get this real quick before I go to there. This is Proverbs 9:13. It say, foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and know of nothing. This is not the daughter of Sarah, man. This is not the one that's looking for salvation. This is the one that still want to do this. Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. This is not a daughter of Sarah that want to be. When they say the foolish pluck it down, meaning she want to be head of the house. You can't tell her nothing. There's nothing you could do, especially if you're making less money than her. You can't tell her nothing. Then you got the ones that look at that making more money than a man is, and they look at it as a plus. Maybe that means the man get to have more time to do videos and study in this. Hey, if you want to call it unbalanced, it's a balance with the Lord, man. Otherwise, he wouldn't have it so. This is Ecclesiastes. Hey, because the Lord said Jeremiah 31, he put women over the men, right? And he created a new thing in the earth, and a woman should come past a man. So, hey, since the women want to be head of the house, hey, well, I tell you what, since you're making more money, right? We still balancing the bills out. They give me more time to study and do videos. Since you already, hey, the Lord, it's a wicked thing to have a woman over you, right? We went and horn out the other gods. The Lord said, we are his wives, we are his bride. When you read it in Isaiah 54, Jeremiah the 3rd chapter, right? So we went and horn out the other gods and following these other people, these other nations. So the Lord got our women doing the same thing, following these other nations. It's the same difference, man. This is Ecclesiastes 26. Made a few precepts from here. I'm gonna get you brother precepts and I'm gonna close out. Oh, then you got, I wrote this down. You got Susanna, you got Esther, right? You got Judith. Man, all these women, man. All these women. Okay? Ecclesiastes 26:1. Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. There is no virtuous women. But the same way when Yahweh said in Matthew 5:48, be ye perfect, even as my Father in heaven, which is perfect. This is what we're trying to do. And you women should be doing the same. Okay? You know about dietary laws and how all that throw your pH off. So the box gonna be all this. We don't gotta go into details. We supposed to be in right. We trying to Judges 5:11 said, rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, man. And that's the men being the head and ye women being followers. A righteous man ain't finna lead you into no ditch, man. He not finna lead himself into a ditch. Not no righteous man. Not a man of Yahweh ain't finna lead you into no ditch, man. Ecclesiastes 26:1. Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. That virtuous, hey, the same way these hopefully elect men trying to get it together, because they tell you in Revelation 14, in their mouth have found no guile, right? The same way for you women, man. It's a virtuous woman rejoice of her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. In peace. A good wife is a portion. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah, man. The Lord ain't finna get no righteous man that doing everything it takes every day, all day to please Yahweh. He ain't gonna give you no wicked woman. Hey, and if you do got one, the Lord gonna move it from you anyway, man. It say verse 4. No, let me jump down. Just hit some of these main points in here. This verse 7. It say, evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that have hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. Right? It's a drunken woman and a gad abroad cause great anger, and she would not cover her own shame. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. And the Lord mentioned that in Isaiah the 3rd chapter, man, about how these women is all pride, lifted up. Women be passing the count with they men, and they looking at us, man. That's undisciplined eyes, man. You should not be looking at another man when you with your man. That's wicked. The same way as we got a law, and we don't gonna look at a woman that's married. Now, sometimes brother look at women be by themselves, then 5-10 minutes later, then the guy come and like, oh damn, you know, Salaki Yahweh Shema Shah, forgive me for that. But she was by herself at first, so we didn't know. You know, brothers don't know, but you can't be out here. We supposed to be rehearsing the right acts of the Lord. It say, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through over much liberty. Who gave you women's liberation? The devil did, man. The same thing he did in the garden, man. It should not be like that. Our women shouldn't have liberation to gather abroad around the world, man, and do what they want to do. That's why things is off balance. But the Lord said he created a new thing to show us men, hey, y'all went against me, so I got y'all women against y'all. That's why it's like that. That's the reason why it's like that, man. This is verse 11. It said, watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Right? It says she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. And it's a precept to that Proverbs 30 and 20. This should not be no women, man. Proverbs 30 and 20 say, read, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and say, if I have done no wrong. You go out and do all this madness, then you come on to your man and he be like, where you with? Oh, I was out with the homegirls hanging out. But you been out tricking the whole time, man. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth. You know what that is. And say, I have done no wickedness. Precept is Ecclesiastes. Let's read it again. And moving on, 26. Ecclesiastes 26. And 12, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down to my men's rods and open her quiver against every arrow. Verse 13, the grace of a wife delight of her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. Comfort, man. Peace. A solid and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. This is a virtuous woman. And they out there, man. They out there. They watch diligently, man. We know you women be want to say something. Elder Monatazab always say that, man. We know you women want to say something, man. Hey, just continue what you're doing. You want to say something, go talk to other women. You can talk to your sisters, whether they want to hear it or not. Hey, run it by them again and again. You got aunties and nieces and moms Run it by them again, man. Hey, run it by them again. They don't want to hear it. Hey, like this, it tell you in Matthew. Hey, if they don't want to hear you, hey, then let them be as a heathen or publican to you. But you can always spread it some kind of way because you're obligated to talk to other women. That's how you can get your word out. This is it say verse 16, as the sun when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. In her house. Quick precept. This is Psalms 68 and 12. It say, kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoils. So it say, kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoils. You think about King David, and they going out to take these spoils. The Lord said, go over here and do this to the Philistine. Go here and do that. Hey, you was at home when brothers got back. Hey, you divided the spoils up, man. Your job point is home, man. And first and foremost, like I said in 2nd Ezra 14 and 13, set that house in order first. What's your house? Your abode, your body, man. Your temple. 1 Corinthians 3 and 16, right? We are the temple of the Lord, man. You get that in order first. So back in Ecclesiastes 26, it say, what was I at? Salakia. Verse 17, it say, as the clear light is upon the holy candlesticks, so is the beauty of the face in ripe age. This is my son, keep the flower of thy age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. You see, which that going to philosophies, right? Like it said in Proverbs 6, Proverbs 5, about philosophy, drink water out of their own cistern. But also, hey, you dealing with strange women, man. Leave them alone, man. Okay? The philosophers will destroy you, man. It say, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, so it will thy own seed, trusting in thy goodness of thy stock. All right, we're talking about your lineage, man. Right? It say, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the fields, sow it with thy own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. That's going to the doctrine that we have been given, our wisdom, knowledge, understanding, right? And also, man, your lineage, man. It say, so thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent, man. Your lineage, through your seed, as well as talking about our wisdom, not to understand that Yahweh gave us, man. Okay, from the beginning, man, it's ours. The other nations can't get it. It say, and harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband, man. A woman should deal with only one man. And once you come into the truth and you accept, you take on this truth, you can, hey, if you don't got no guy, you can't deal. Hey, you find one, that's it. You can't be bouncing and hopping around. You get with a guy, and you suppose, let's say he ain't in the truth, you in the truth. You get with a guy, hey, you stuck with that guy, man. Because as Paul said, a man can be saved through the woman. So you can't just up and say, oh, because he went in the truth, he don't know. Hey, the Lord is separated. The Lord don't want you with him. Eventually, he's going to separate it. But you can't just jump up and say, no, you got to stay with that one guy, man. It say, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth Yahweh by Shema Shah. They say dishonest woman condemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. You see, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonor him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. So you see, when you read the story about Susanna, man, hey, she stayed faithful to the end, man. And who was able to give her that jail? Daniel was there, man. But she stayed faithful to the end, man. She was ready to die because she knew she didn't do no wrong, man. But that's faithful women, man. And this is let's go back. This is the brother. Well, I just read that already. This is Adam 9, put up Jeremiah 9:20. Yea, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, right? And teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbor lamentation, man. Cause woes and woes is coming, man. Again, I love this precept, man. I bring this out a lot. Jeremiah 9:20. Ye hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth. It's simple, man. It's simple. And teach your daughters wailing, and everyone her neighbor lamentation, man. Hey, you supposed to be teaching your daughters they're supposed to be eating this, they're supposed to be eating that, they're supposed to do this. Hey, it's simple, man. If not, they're gonna be wild and buck, man. And you ain't gonna be able to control them, man. That thing you know, you're gonna be young, having grandbabies. Hey, cause as the law say, hey, when a woman get her period, man, you know, after maybe a year, couple years, maybe after that, or after she get her period, you're supposed to be marrying her off, man, to a righteous God. Matter of fact, let's get this. This is if I ain't mistaken, 1 Corinthians 7, I think. Let's read this. So like it's gonna be one of my last precepts too. I'm gonna finish your precept on the comment board. I might be in the wrong chapter. Salakia. I'm looking for this. I ain't read it in a while. Let me see. Let me look it up real quick. It's been a minute since I read it. Salakia for that. Bear with me a couple minutes. It's been a minute since I read it. Okay, I was there. So this 1 Corinthians chapter 7, because this must needs, man. 1 Corinthians 7. And let me see. Damn it, man. Salakia, man. Salakia. It's been a minute since I brought this out. Okay, man. It's been a minute. I got it. Salakia. 1 Corinthians, because the whole chapter is good, man. The whole chapter is talking about a man and his wife, man, going back and forth. I won't read the whole chapter. It's 36 verses, but I'm gonna get to the points. I'm just trying to see where I want to start at, man. It's fire. Cause this is important, man. This is the order that the Lord gave in the laws, man. This is Paul just speaking about it. So to read the point though, this is 1 Corinthians 7:36. It reads, "But if any man think he behaveth himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not. Let them marry." So there's also going what I was reading about in Ecclesiastes about when a father have a daughter and she reached that point, when she get that flower, man, they be hot, man. Women, these young girls, when they get their period, that's when they get hot, man. And you gotta marry them off. Otherwise, they're gonna be around here doing whatever. So it say, but if any man, this is 1 Corinthians 7:36. That's what I probably have highlighted. But if any man think him, it say, but if any man think that he behaving himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age and need so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not, let them marry, right? Meaning to have sex, right? So you see, in the same chapter, Paul said it's better not to have a woman. He was just speaking on himself because he didn't deal with women. But he also said, like right here, it say, and the woman which have an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but power have called us to peace. So these laws, man, about that. So hey, for these women, man, you out there, we know you out there, we know you watching. Hey, just stay doing what you're doing, man. Hey, but we here to strengthen the weak hand and confirm the feeble knees, which is all the hopefully elect, man. But you women, cause you are the weaker vessel. Hey, so Lord, what is edifying? Oh, let me get the spell of precept. Lord, what is edifying? Gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Shah, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who will, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders over all of Israel, whether you can accept it or not. In the sense of salutation to all the arguing, pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hope for the elect. Shalom to the outwalk who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. This is Adam Nana, Ecclesiasticus 9:8. Turn away thy eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. Let's say, for herewith love is kindled as a fire. Right. The sister said the water for the edifying lesson. Much needed. Yeah, that's why we here. With double, it would down myself, but this boosted my faith. Hey, that's good. That's why we here, man. We here to confirm that we can and feeble needs, man. And you been a weaker vessel, you have to get exhorted too, man. Okay? Remember, hey, long as you do the Lord, hey, long as you do, let's close with this. Let's close with this. As long as you do what the Lord wants you to do, you're gonna be good. Nobody know. We don't know who's sure. We don't know, but we just doing. Hey, the Lord say, rehearse your righteous acts of the Lord every day, man. Hey, and at the end, it say 1 Peter 3:5. For after this manner in old time, the holy women also who trusted in Yahweh Bashim Shah adored themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. If you don't got a husband, then you just be in subjection until what you watching the videos, you stand grounded, right? Through Yahweh Shema Shah. It say, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and not, it say, and are not afraid with amazement. So you ain't gonna worry about Jacob's trouble neither. You ain't gonna worry about that. You're gonna be confident. You getting confident now. That's what the Lord, he's building us up now, man. So as long as you do what the Lord telling you to do, rehearse your right acts of the Lord. That's all you gotta do. Stay prayed up. You know who's I'm gonna use the word bullshitting, teaching the word. You know who it is. You know who's lying and playing, and everything is all a game. So you know, hey, we here, you gotta build you up too. Hey, in that day, if you don't got a man, don't worry about it. In that day, the Lord gonna guide you where you need to be at. He gonna guide you to that right man, whomever he are. So, hey, don't worry about it. Trust me, the Lord gonna guide you. And he said, whomever in the old time. Look at the ones of old. Let's read this. I didn't mean to be dragging out. Salakia. Ecclesiastes 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So let's get this too. Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 5 say, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Right? Let's get a precept to that. Isaiah 13 and 12. They say acceptable men. Isaiah 13 and 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man in the golden wedge of Ophir. So, as I read in Isaiah 32 and 2, a man shall be a covering. Hey, when things break out, trust me, the Lord gonna have you to connect with some brother in the truth. Don't worry about it right now. Just stay focused on watching these videos. You got highlighters, highlight your Bible, get it, log it into your brain, and just stay diligent. That's it. When it's time for you to be moved, the Lord gonna have you moved to a brother to be covered. Don't worry about it. That's why we got the comforter. So Lord willing, until next time I say shalom. Wild Barber Ball. Hey, the wild for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema Shah continue to bless you in your house and stay prayed up. Shalom.